Hello and a very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha television. You're watching the news tonight with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Industrial production grows at a robust 7.1% in December. Retail inflation slows to 5.07% in January on the back of lower prices of vegetables, fruits and fuel components. Prime Minister Narendra Modi returns after concluding successful visit to Jordan, Palestine, UAE and Oman, invites investors from Gulf countries to explore business avenues in India. Days after providing big agriculture push in Budget 2018-19, Prime Minister Modi to meet all stakeholders next week to effectively implement farm policy. In an exclusive interview to Rajya Sabha television, Niti Aayog member Professor Ramesh Chand says government will seek states' views on devising formula on minimum support prices. And security forces in Srinagar foiled terror attack on CRPF camp. One Jawan killed in the encounter. Search operation continues in Sunjwan of Jammu. Home Minister Rajnath Singh holds a high-level meeting on the security situation. Well, after wrapping up his multi-nation tour to Jordan, Palestine, UAE and Oman, Prime Minister Narendra Modi returned to India today. Before concluding his two-day visit to Oman, Prime Minister tweeted that the visit has helped build upon the centuries-old ties and will impart a substantial momentum to the relations in all spheres, including trade and investment relations. He also expressed his gratitude to Sultan Qaboos of Oman. Well, before leaving for India on Monday after his three-nation tour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said his visit to Oman and the talks with the oil-rich Gulf nations' top leadership will impart a substantial momentum to all spheres of bilateral ties. At the India-Oman business meeting in Muscat, the Prime Minister pitched India as an attractive destination to do business. Here's more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday met industry leaders of the Gulf and West Asia region at India-Oman business meeting at Muscat. The Prime Minister pitched India as an attractive destination to do business, while also emphasizing the need to enhance economic ties between the two nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also met Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs of Oman, Syed Asad bin Tariq Al Said. The two leaders exchanged views on intensifying ties in the area of energy, trade and investment, food security, defense and security, mining and other sectors. Prime Minister Modi also offered prayers at 125-year-old Shiva Temple, one of the oldest in Muscat. There he met the Indians who had gathered in large numbers. The Prime Minister also visited the iconic Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque, the main mosque in Oman. On Sunday, India and Oman signed 8 agreements, including one on cooperation in the field of defense, health and tourism. Prime Minister said for the last 3 years, India has been improving India's relationship with the Gulf countries, and with India's increasing progress and credibility, the Gulf countries have increased their interest in the country. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, India's factory output grew at a robust 7.1% in December, while retail inflation slowed to 5.07% in January. Industrial output is seen to have maintained the recovery momentum on the back of robust performance by manufacturing, as well as higher offtake of capital goods and non-durable consumer goods. Retail inflation, on the other hand, declined to 5.07% in January due to easing prices of vegetables, fruits and fuel components. Data released by the Central Statistics Office showed the rate of price rise for consumer foods had eased to 4.7% in January from 4.96% in December. Inflation in the vegetable basket slowed to 26.97% as against 29.13% in December. Prices of fruits also rose at a lower pace of 6.24% last month as against 6.63% recorded in the preceding month. Well, staying on with business news now, the benchmark indices BSE Sensex and NSE Nifty closed higher on Monday as investor sentiments were buoyed by robust corporate earnings and positive global cues. The BSE Sensex gained 294.71 points or 0.87% to end at 34,300.47, and the broader Nifty rose 84.80 points or 0.81% to end at 10,539.80. The rupee also strengthened to close at 64.32 against the US dollar, tracking gains in Asian currencies. Analysts said gains in Asian and global stock markets boosted sentiment. Well, let's now get you the latest with our focus on the Northeast elections. Well, news now from the election-bound state of Tripura. The Congress released its election manifesto on Monday. The party has promised development, employment and waiver of farmers' loans if voted to power in the state. The poll document also says that minimum wages of unorganized labour will be raised to 300 rupees a day, apart from policies to promote young entrepreneurs' government job opportunities to overall candidates. Commencement of air traffic services at Kamalpur and Kaishalhar in Unakoti district and exploring possibilities of water transport routes. The party has also promised to name the Agartala airport Maharaja Bir Bikram Kishore Manikya Bahadur, the last reigning king of Tripura's Manikya dynasty. The Congress has fielded candidates for 59 out of the 60 seats in Tripura, where assembly elections will be held on the 18th of February.
कि कांग्रेस पार्टी का मैनिफेस्टो में हमारा पहला लक्ष्य है विकास। दूसरा है शांति। तीसरा है नौकरी। 14 है स्वास्थ्य। पांच वाला यूनाइटेड त्रिपुरा। ये हमारा मेन लक्ष्य है। अभी वामपंथी शासन में यहाँ त्रिपुरा में विकास नहीं हो रहा है।
Well, the BJP has released its vision document for the upcoming assembly election in Tripura. Released by senior party leader and finance minister Arun Jaitley in Agartala, the BJP's vision document promises steady growth in the state. The party has also promised to set up special economic zones in the state, and smartphones would be given to the youth for free if the Saffron party is elected to power. It also promised to provide employment to every household and free education for women till graduation. The party has also promised to give 7th Pay Commission salary to state government employees. Lashing out at the state government, Jaitley said that a wave of anger runs in the state today against the ruling CPIM. The voting for the 60-member assembly will be held on the 18th of this month and counting will take place on the 3rd of March. The BJP is contesting in 51 seats, while its alliance partner Indigenous People's Front of Tripura has fielded candidates in 9 seats.
और एक आक्रोश की लहर एक एंटी इनकम्बेंसी के रूप में सीपीएम के खिलाफ बहुत तेजी से इस राज्य के अंदर फैली है। जो डेवलपमेंटल एजेंडा है, डेवलपमेंटल पॉलिटिक्स है, उसको सर्वप्रथम रखा है और इस विजन डॉक्यूमेंट में त्रिपुरा के संबंध में वो डेवलपमेंटल पॉलिटिक्स सामने आए, हमारी पार्टी को अवसर मिलता है तो वो प्रयास रहेगा।
On the campaign mission to expand its footprint in the northeast with the aim to wrest Tripura from the CPIM, BJP President Amit Shah on Monday hit out at the party and the government and predicted the BJP will form the government in the state.
With governments in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur, the BJP now looking to make inroads in the northeastern state of Tripura. Addressing a campaign rally in the state on Monday, BJP President Amit Shah said that his party will make Tripura a model state within 5 years if voted to power.
कि त्रिपुरा में अगली सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बनने जा रही है। प्रदेश भर में जब कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी यहां शासन में आई तब यहां पर 25,000 बेरोजगार रजिस्टर थे और 25 साल की उनकी उपलब्धि है कि 25 साल के बाद 7,33,000 बेरोजगार यहां पर रजिस्टर्ड। इतने छोटे से राज्य के अंदर जिस प्रकार से बेरोजगारों की संख्या बढ़ी है, इसका जवाब सीपीएम के नेता श्री माणिक सरकार के पास नहीं।
For a party that has virtually no presence in the state even till 2 years ago, the BJP is sensing an opportunity in the anti-incumbency sentiment against the decade-long left rule in the state. It is trying to tap public anger over the lack of jobs, deteriorating law and order situation, and even a chit fund scam scandal.
Many of the centrally sponsored schemes, the funding pattern was 90:10. That has been, many of these schemes already been changed, made 50-50. Apart from that, you see, for consecutive 5 years, Tripura stopped in the country in implementation of REGA. And this year, that has been stretched down to only 50% allocation. So this is one aspect. Secondly, many of the projects, infrastructural projects, lying with the center.
The BJP had a shot in the arm less than 2 months ahead of the assembly elections. On 8th December, the BJP officially entered the Tripura assembly after the speaker recognized 6 former Trinamool Congress legislators who joined the party. The BJP has announced its alliance with the indigenous People's Front of Tripura. Although it has a contentious demand of carving out a state of Tripura land out of Tripura's tribal areas, however, the BJP has only committed to addressing socio-economic, cultural and linguistic issues of the tribals in the state. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's now turn our focus to the South Indian pole-bound state. Congress President Rahul Gandhi, who's been campaigning in pole-bound Karnataka, addressed several rallies and public meetings on Monday. On the third day of his Jan Ashirwad Yatra, Rahul addressed tribals in Devdurga. Targeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said that the government has not been able to give jobs to a large section of the population. Rahul Gandhi also travelled to Raichur, Yadgiri and Gulbarga districts, accompanied by State Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and other party leaders.
तो मोदी जी बहाने बनाना बंद कीजिए, काम करना शुरू कीजिए, युवाओं को रोजगार देना शुरू कीजिए, किसानों की मदद करना, किसानों का कर्जा माफ करना शुरू कीजिए। आपके पास अब ज्यादा समय नहीं बचा है, 1 साल बचा है। चुनाव है, आप चुनाव को भी पहले कर रहे हो, तो उससे भी कम समय बचा है आपका। काम शुरू कीजिए, बहाने बंद कीजिए।
And ahead of the assembly election this year, the Rajasthan government has announced a one-time loan waiver of up to 50,000 rupees for small and marginal farmers at a cost of 8,000 crore rupees to the state exchequer. Presenting the state budget in the assembly, Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje said a farmer loan relief commission will be set up to address the issues of farmers. Raje, who holds the finance portfolio, also announced a hike in harmonium to Anganwadi workers and free travel for those above the age of 80 years in state transport buses.
मैं लघु एवं सीमांत कृषकों के सहकारी बैंकों में 30 सितंबर 2017 को ओवरड्यू ऋण में समस्त शास्ति एवं ब्याज माफी की घोषणा करती हूं। इसी कड़ी में इनको शामिल करते हुए सहकारी बैंकों की लघु और सीमांत कृषकों के 30 सितंबर 2017 तक आउटस्टैंडिंग अल्पकालीन फसली ऋण में से 50,000 तक के कर्जे की एक बार माफी की घोषणा करती हूं।
Well, in other news now, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today visited the Sunjwan army camp to take stock of the situation after a terrorist attack. Addressing the media, the Defence Minister said despite giving evidence repeatedly to Pakistan about its involvement in the attacks, there has been no action by it on the ground. Meanwhile, the army's search operation is underway in its Sunjwan camp that was attacked by suspected JEM terrorists who killed 6 persons, including 5 soldiers. 3 suspected Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists involved in the attack were killed in the retaliatory action by the army inside the camp, and a large quantity of arms and ammunition was seized from them.
The counter-terrorist operations at Sunjwan, Jammu were called off today at 10:30 hours. However, the sanitization operations are still on. Definitely, evidences will be given as always to Pakistan. And yes, Pakistan, in spite of us giving dossiers after dossiers, has not taken any action. On the contrary, we find people who are directly responsible for the Mumbai attack and many others, but particularly Mumbai attack, are still free and happily roaming in Pakistan.
A gunfight broke out between security forces and militants after their attempt to strike a CRPF camp in Jammu and Kashmir was foiled. The militants holed up inside an abandoned house in Karan Nagar in the heart of Srinagar city after their early morning bid to storm the camp was averted. The Jawan belonging to 49 Battalion of the Central Reserve Police Force has been martyred in the gunfight. There were also clashes between security forces and stone-pelting youths near the site. Terrorist organization Lashkar-e-Toiba has claimed responsibility for the attack.
The morning around 4:45, 2 militants they tried to barge into the headquarters of CRPF 23 Battalion, and the alert sentry he repulsed the attack. As a result, these 2 terrorists they sneak into the building which were close to the headquarters of the battalion. So then our valley QATs of CRPF they came along with SOG while they were searching house to house. The contact was established around 9:30.
Well, days after the agriculture sector got a big push in the budget 2018-19, Niti Aayog member Professor Ramesh Chand told Rajya Sabha television that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will meet all the stakeholders on February 19th and 20th to refocus the government's policies in line with the NDA government's vision of doubling farmers' income. In an exclusive interview to Rajya Sabha television's Neelu Vyas on the program To The Point, Ramesh Chand, who is also known as the man behind policy making on agrarian economics, said that the centre will elicit views from different states on devising the formula on the minimum support prices on March 1st. Here are excerpts from the interview.
Narendra Modi announced that the farmers' income should be doubled by 2022. Soon a committee was formed on the DFI, that is doubling the farmers' income. How much work has really progressed since then? Are you contented with the pace of work which has taken place so far?
You see, there are 2 aspects. First is that we should have a roadmap. Okay. That committee, Ashok Dalwai and those people who worked with me on farmer income issues in academics, so they were all involved. They worked at length how much capital formation, what kind of changes in technology, what kind of changes in market, value addition. They looked at all those things. Now that has been prepared. Now there is an urgent need to bring it on the ground. So maybe we will take it up later on 19th, 20th February. Okay. Prime Minister asked Ministry of Agriculture and to me to discuss this thing with all the stakeholders.
A few states like Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Telangana, who've rolled out their own price differential schemes. But from the central level, I mean, is the central government thinking of such price deficiency payments at an all India level? Because there is no clarity on this kind of a proposal in the budget.
We have already planned with Ministry of Agriculture to call meeting of all the states on 1st of March. So we are working fast on this. So we will take views of the states. We will put before them, these are the options available. So what kind of option you would like to avail?
Well, you can watch the entire interview on To The Point at 10 p.m. on Wednesday night. Moving on to some other news now. India is all set to revamp its norms to have better designed and better managed highway public practices. Now, the Indian Highway Capacity Manual recommended by the 12th five-year plan was adopted by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways on Monday. Realizing the manual, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari said that the manual will help plan better road engineering. Here's more.
Every year, more than 5 lakh people are killed in road accidents in India. Poor design of roads and highways is often one of the main reasons behind this. In an attempt to check accidents, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari on Monday released India's first ever highway capacity manual in New Delhi. The manual is expected to help plan better road engineering. Calling highways crucial for country's development, Gadkari underlined the need to follow successful global practices on construction of road and highways.
रोड इंजीनियरिंग से लेकर रोड सेफ्टी तक, ट्रैफिक इंजीनियरिंग से लेकर प्लांटेशन तक, अगर जंक्शन पॉइंट से लेकर अंडरपास और बाईपास और फ्लाईओवर तक, हर जगह पर एक टेक्निकल साइंटिफिक दृष्टिकोण की आवश्यकता है और उसका रिसर्च और स्टडी करने के बाद ही जनता के लिए क्या उपयोगी और क्या नहीं हम सिद्ध कर सकते हैं। इसलिए ये मैनुअल, इसका पालन पूरे स्टेट के पीडब्ल्यूडी सब बार इसका आधार लेंगे और उसके आधार पर काम करेंगे। उसमें देश में स्टैंडर्ड रोड भी बनेंगे, लोगों का प्रवास भी सुसह्य होगा, ट्रैफिक जाम भी कम होगा, एक्सीडेंट्स भी कम होंगे और रोड का क्वालिटी कंस्ट्रक्शन में कॉस्ट भी कम होगी।
The manual, known as Indo-HCM, has been developed by CRRI on the basis of an extensive countrywide study of the traffic characteristics on different categories of roads like single-lane, two-lane, multi-lane urban roads and inter-urban highways and expressways.
ये रिपोर्ट बेसिकली प्लानर्स के लिए है। हमको अभी तक आज तक ये नहीं पता है कि हमारी 2 लेन रोड की कैपेसिटी कितनी होती है। हम यूएस की मैनुअल को यूज़ करते आए हैं। हमारे जो आईआरसी के कोड्स हैं वो भी बहुत रिसर्च के बेस पे नहीं बने हुए हैं। तो इससे एक तो सिस्टमेटिक प्रोसीजर आएगा, दूसरे ये है कि कोई भी सर्विस, कोई भी फैसिलिटी डिज़ाइन की जाती है लेवल ऑफ सर्विस बी के लिए, तो बी पे कितना वॉल्यूम होना चाहिए, कितने वॉल्यूम के लिए डिज़ाइन किया जाए, वो इस मैनुअल से आंसर मिलता है।
The manual also lays down guidelines for how to expand or manage different types of roads and their intersections. It has been developed based on the unique nature and diversity of traffic on Indian roads. Countries like USA, China, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan have their own developed highway capacity manuals. Panchanan Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, here's a roundup now. Some other news from across the country and nationwide. Fresh snowfall was recorded in many areas of Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. The snowfall snapped Kashmir's links with the rest of the country as the arterial Jammu-Srinagar National Highway was closed due to the accumulation of snow around Jawahar Tunnel in the Kazigund area. The snowfall also resulted in poor visibility at the Srinagar airport, disrupting air traffic. The Supreme Court has refused an interim stay on Karnataka's Buffalo Race Kambala. A bench comprising A. Kanvilkar and D.Y. Chandrachud has fixed March 12th for a final hearing on the plea by animal rights body PETA. To pave the way for the festival, the State Cabinet had last year decided to amend the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, Central Act 59 of 1960, enacted to prevent infliction of unnecessary cruelty and suffering on animals. A special court has summoned former Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh, his wife and 3 others as accused in a 7 crore rupee money laundering case. Special Judge Santosh Snehi Maan said there was prima facie enough evidence against the accused persons and directed them to appear before the court on March 22nd. The National Productivity Council is observing National Productivity Day on Monday and National Productivity Week till the 18th of February. It is the 60th anniversary of the National Productivity Council and 2018 is being celebrated as the Diamond Jubilee year. The theme for the National Productivity Week is Industry 4.0 Leapfrog Opportunity for India. But let's shift focus and bring you up to speed with some international news now in our segment Global Buzz. Former Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa demanded a snap general election challenging his successor's right to govern after beating the ruling coalition in crucial midterm polls. Rajapaksa's new party secured 2/3 of Sri Lanka's councils in the local elections. Investigators searched snow-covered fields outside Moscow for body fragments and clues after a Russian passenger plane crashed on Sunday, killing all 71 people on board. Among the possible causes, investigators are looking into weather conditions, human error and the plane's technical condition. President Vladimir Putin ordered a special commission to investigate the cause of the crash. All flights to and from London City Airport were cancelled after an unexploded World War II bomb was found in the River Thames. A 200-meter exclusion zone was set up after the bomb was found during work at the airport. Police evacuated the properties within the exclusion zone and a number of roads were cordoned off. China launched 2 satellites into orbit by a single carrier rocket for its domestic navigation satellite system. The twin satellites are the 5th and 6th satellites to join the Beidou family to form a network. The Beidou system is used in areas like meteorology and hydrology, communication and transport, forest prevention and power grid operation. And finally, some news now from the 23rd Winter Olympics. Germany's Laura Dahlmeier has won her second gold in the Pyeongchang Olympics. She won the women's 10-kilometer biathlon pursuit in 30 minutes and 35 seconds. The victory made her the first female biathlete to win the sprint and pursuit double at the same Olympics. Meanwhile, in figure skating, Canada won gold after brilliant performances by Patrick Chan and Gabrielle Daleman. Chan landed 2 quads in his free skate to finally win an Olympic gold. Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer of Canada finished first in the ice dance event. American Jamie Anderson won gold in the slopestyle event. In the first run, she scored 83 points at the Phoenix Snow Park, on which only 5 of 25 finalists made it through to their opening attempt without a fall. Well, that's it on this newscast. Good night.